What's up, my fellow coaster fans? This is Mavlar Coasters here today, coming at you with yet another video, and well, I should just say, my first video, my first real video, because this is my first real video on my new YouTube channel, you know, that I already set up and stuff. This is my top 10 most overrated coasters, or the top 10 most overrated coasters in my opinion. And yeah, just a little quick disclaimer, you know, this is all my opinion. Don't get offended if this is not your opinion, because it's my opinion, you know. Don't get offended if you're like, well, I really like that coaster. I'm not saying I don't like any of these coasters. I'm saying I like most of these coasters, yeah. In fact, I love most of these coasters. It's just they're so overrated by the GP and especially coaster fans, and I just think it's a little ridiculous sometimes. So here's my list on the top 10 most overrated coasters. Alright, so first at the number 10 spot we have Mystic Timbers. Oh boy, is this way too overhyped. I mean, yeah, sure, it's a decent GCI, even one of the best GCIs, sure. But I mean, like, I've ridden at least two GCIs that are better than it. Prowler and Gold Striker, especially Gold Striker. Gold Striker is great. And who forgot about Lightning Racer? That's one of the best roller coasters out there. It's probably in my top 25. That's a bit of a long shot, maybe top 30. No, top 25, actually. Yes, Lightning Racer's in my top 25. But yeah, Mystic Timbers, honestly, it's a great ride. I'm not denying that it's a great ride. The airtime is fantastic, but it's just another good GCI. I definitely would rank Diamondback, the Beast, and Banshee, and I thought even for a little while Bat over this. I mean, this roller coaster isn't anything unique. It's a lot of fun, sure, but it's definitely not the best in the park for me. And if it is for you, hey, that's your opinion, that's cool. I just don't get it personally. Plus, the shed was a total letdown. Like, oh my goodness, I thought there was going to be a drop or like an inversion or something, but nope. So that was a bit of a letdown. Anyway, coming in at the coming in at the number 9 spot, we have Tennessee Tornado. Now this one is one of the ones where it's like, okay, this is a really good ride, but everyone's calling it the best aerodynamics custom looper, and while that may be true, you know, it's still, for being the best aerodynamics custom looper, that's not really saying much, because I haven't really gotten any rough rides on this. There's minimal headbanging, a little bit in the back, but you know, for the most part, minimal headbanging. Just overall, not that great of a ride, though. I think it is a pretty good ride. You know, it's not the most outstanding thing ever. It's still a pretty great. It's still a pretty good ride. The color scheme is disgusting. It's absolutely atrocious. They need to repaint that immediately, in my opinion. But yeah, the loop's really fun. It's just a short ride, and I found it to be not that forceful. It had a couple moments of airtime. I was actually surprised, but yeah, it's just overall just an okay, like a good aerodynamics custom looper. Alright, next, this one's going to trigger a few people, or not even a few, I should say a lot of people who watch this, because it is Nitro at Six Flags Great Adventure. Now, I don't know if I just rode this on a bad day, because I've only been to Six Flags Great Adventure once, but yeah, honestly, I did not have the best experience at Nitro. Okay, first of all, this is one of the rides on here that I actually don't like, really, because I rode in the back row. I got like the worst B&M rattle, and that's not, again, really not saying much, but I mean, like, yeah, it's a B&M, it should be smooth, and it wasn't smooth at all. You know, this thing is desperately in need of a repaint. Honestly, it was okay. The airtime, like, towards the end, that was fun. I liked the ejector airtime, but the floater airtime, kind of boring. That one turnaround, you know, you don't get too much airtime on. Overall, not that much of a fun ride. It's really boring and really bumpy. It has that B&M rattle to it, like I said before. Yeah, just not the best thing ever. Alright, next on this list we have American Eagle at Six Flags Great America. Now, Six Flags Great America is one of those parks that, if you really think about it, they don't have any bad rides. They just have a couple meh ones, and American Eagle is one of those meh rides. You know, it's not like the most outstanding thing ever. Obviously, it's just a racing wooden roller coaster. Like, the airtime is okay. I thought it was pretty rough on the red side. Yeah, I thought it was pretty rough on the red side. I don't know if I got the sides wrong, but yeah, the red side was the only one running that day, so that was kind of a disappointment because I've heard sometimes, I heard all the time that I just heard that the blue side is generally the smoother one, or I forget which one. Maybe it was the red side, but if so, yeah, I just rode this on a bad day maybe because this is another one of the coasters on here that I just really don't like. It's okay, but it proves that Six Flags Great America doesn't have any bad roller coasters, but they do have a couple meh ones, like I said. Yeah, so this is one of the meh ones on here and people tend to love this thing too, and I just don't understand why. I guess there's some sort of sentimental attraction to it, but besides that, besides the fact of the sentimental attraction, there's not much else going for it. Next up on this list, at the number 6 spot, we have Silver Bullet at Knott's Berry Farm. This ride, I just thought it was downright forestless. Now, not to say it isn't fun. It's definitely a lot of fun. Inverts tend to be like very exhilarating, and it's a cool feeling. It feels like you're flying, and it's floorless, and it's just all around a super fun ride. But I found this ride to be really forestless. The loop was just like, I was expecting it to be forestless, I was expecting it to be really forceful. So the loop, when I realized it wasn't as forceful as I thought, I'm like, okay, maybe the next one, maybe the next one will be forceful. But the whole ride generally is pretty forestless. It's even the helix, the zero-G roll, the corkscrews, it just aren't that great. I mean, it's a beautiful ride, very photogenic, and yeah, you see lots of people taking pictures of it, very photogenic. But I mean, the color scheme is great. This thing looks awesome, but it's just not as good as it looks, and people tend to really like this one too. Yeah, so I think it's just a pretty mediocre B&M invert. All right, next one. Oh boy, here's where I'm going to start to get mad. Riddler's Revenge. Now, if you know me, I have a burning hate for stand-up coasters, and Riddler's Revenge, everyone says, is the best stand-up coaster, so I'm like, okay, maybe I was just riding all the bad ones. Green Lantern I hated. I hate Vortex at California's Great America, which is now Patriot, thank God, and Vortex at Carowinds. So I'm like, okay, I'll give this one a shot, and wow, yeah, this is just not a good ride, honestly. Okay, I get it. It should be floorless because Six Flags Magic Mountain already has a floorless coaster, Scream, and it's kind of a similar layout, almost identical, actually. Well, no, I shouldn't say that, but it's, if they got this, it would be kind of like having 2 Screams in the park, like the exact same ride experience. Now, I will admit this, the loop is very forceful, corkscrews are very forceful, but yeah, stand-up coasters just are not fun for me, and yes, it is the best stand-up coaster, but again, that's not really saying much considering it's still not that great of a ride. But that's just my opinion, so, think whatever you want to think of it. Anyway. Oops. Next on this list, we have Boulder Dash at Lake Compounce. Now, when we all saw Taylor Bybee's list from Coaster Studios, we were all disappointed to see Boulder Dash was on the number 25 spot, I believe, or 24. It was number 25 spot, and we all went like, really? Because it's okay. I haven't gotten a rough ride on this at all because I've been to Lake Compounce once, but yeah, even in the back seat, I had no rough ride. My only problem with this is it's so overrated. Like, everyone loves this ride, and yeah, I do admit I like this, but I would not consider it one of the best wooden roller coasters of all time. Definitely, yes, it definitely is an engineering miracle. I will admit that, but I mean, besides that, there's not much else going for it that it goes through the woods. I mean, yeah, you get some decent airtime. I'd say it's a pretty okay wooden roller coaster, but people love this thing. I guess it's just sentimental value. Plus, it goes through the forest, which is actually really cool. You feel like you're going pretty fast, but definitely not one of the best roller coasters of all time by any means. All right, next on this list, this one's going to spark some controversy. Well, I don't know. Yeah, this is a pretty overrated ride, so I don't know. Then the two next ones are probably going to spark a bit of controversy. Next one is Superman at Six Flags New England, which was an Intamin Mega Coaster, I believe. Sorry if I got that wrong. I'm not sure exactly. Um, but yeah, anyway, it's an Intamin Mega Coaster, and I was setting my expectations way too high for this thing. Honestly, this thing is equal to Superman Ride of Steel at Darien Lake and Six Flags America for me. I'm sorry, but I had to say it. That's the thing that will spark a bit of controversy, or a lot of controversy, as I should say. Now, by no means do I not like this coaster. Doesn't mean that it's my favorite coaster in the park, no, but this coaster is really awesome. I'm not denying that. I'm saying this ride and Ride of Steel, while they are different, they're both really good. On this one, the airtime is outstanding. Pretty forceful ride. The spaghetti bowl thing, though, everyone freaks out over that. So I'm like, oh, it's going to be pretty forceful. But that part was like not very forceful for me. I don't know. I guess I just wasn't feeling it. In the back a bit, yeah, it was pretty forceful. But I mean, yeah, just I overhyped this thing way too much due to it being so overrated. And yeah, just Wicked Cyclone's definitely my favorite in this park. This one, yeah, totally knocks this one out of the park. Yeah, this one's just not that amazing of the ride, especially for being voted the best steel coaster of all time by the Golden Ticket Awards, which are bullshit anyway. It's pardon my French, but yeah, they're bullshit anyway. So yeah, I'm a bit annoyed that people get so excited over this thing because it is a lot of fun. It's an awesome ride, but it's not that great. Anyway, number two. Sorry, Canada Coaster fan. Number two is Comba Daddy at Busch Gardens, Tampa. I'm so sorry, Ryan, but I'm really not a big fan of this ride. Or at least not a big fan like anyone else is. Now, I saw it just as a regular B&M sit down when I went there. I didn't know it was going to be that great of a ride, so I didn't overhype it or anything. And yeah, I came out with my expectations a little higher, but then when I heard what everyone's saying about it, I'm like, nah, it's not that great. It definitely is a good ride, I'm not denying that, but I kind of felt like it was just a generic B&M sit down. Like, yeah, it's forceful, yeah, its inversions are very intense. The whole ride's pretty intense, but I mean, like, it's not like the best B&M sit down or whatever anyone's saying. Like, honestly, I think Bizarro at Six Flags Great Adventure, I'm sorry I had to go there, but I think that's just about as good as this. Like, yeah, both rides are pretty intense, but I don't think it's like one of the greatest things ever like everyone does. Definitely Montu in this park, and I'd say even Cheetah Hunt are better than this. Yeah, again, sorry, Canada Coaster fan. This is just my opinion, so don't get all mad at me. Go after me in the comment section, dislike the video, whatever. Just don't get too mad at me, or just don't get mad at me because it's just my opinion. So don't get too triggered about it. Anyway, and at the number one spot is Millennium Force. This one may or may not spark some controversy. Actually, probably will. Millennium Force for the longest time, I thought it was my favorite roller coaster at Cedar Point. Now I realize that Maverick's better, and now Steel Vengeance is obviously just knocks everything out of the park, especially, Maverick is a great ride, but nothing can compare to Steel Vengeance. Steel Vengeance is mastery. It's like one of the best roller coasters that I've ridden. Not my number one, but one of the best roller coasters that I've ridden. But Millennium Force, it is a great ride. I love this ride so much. It has so much sentimental value to me. But like being voted the number one steel coaster, not just in America, but in the world by the bullshit Golden Ticket Awards. I'm sorry I had to go there again and say bullshit, but I mean, like, this, it's so annoying how much this roller coaster gets, like, called the best roller coaster on planet Earth, and then the Cedar Point fanboys, which I have to admit, I'm kind of a Cedar Point fanboy since, my home park, or my second home park and stuff. More of a Kings Island fanboy, but since Kings Island is my home park. But yeah, Cedar Point's my second home park. I have a lot of sentimental ties to this roller coaster. I'm not denying any of that. I'm just saying, it's not as forceful as one may think. It's definitely forceful, but it's not as forceful as people say it is, like, oh, the most forceful coaster ever. Or even National Geographic says this was, like, the most forceful roller coaster ever. But yeah, it's all around. It's really fun. But, I still think I 305 and Fury are much better than this. And Maverick and Steel Vengeance are, like, amazing. Like, you think Millennium Force is good. Wait till you go on Maverick and Steel Vengeance. Like, those completely knock it out of the park, especially Steel Vengeance. But yeah, overall, Millennium Force is probably the most overrated coaster of all time, in my opinion, or the most overrated coaster for me. So anyway, thank you for watching this video. If you enjoyed it, subscribe. Please don't get mad, because again, this is just my opinion. You can go after me in the comments or whatever. You know, what coasters do you think are overrated? Make sure to leave a like and again subscribe. And thank you guys so much for watching. Bye.